Hello, everyone. Hope you're well. Welcome to Matchmaker Monday and a look at some of the MMA news going on. Or should we say MMA Monday as well? Join with the one, the only, the legend, Luke Tanner. Luke, how you doing, bro?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Recovered.
Sweet. Got a few things to chop up today. We're going to be speaking about Bivol and Beterbiev. Was it a robbery? Was it not a robbery? The word that has been touted about since Saturday night's a brilliant fight. And you're speaking about Royval and Taira and their epic battle and what's next for both men. UFC 310, the main card has been announced. And also Belal Muhammad and Ilya Topuria have had a war of words and been going back and forth. And also an announcement about the PFL card on Saturday as well. So let's get straight into it. I know it's MMA Monday, Matchmaker Monday, but we've got to speak about the topic that has been ringing through the internet since Saturday night, and that is the brilliant light heavyweight bout between Bivol and Beterbiev, which ended in a majority decision to Beterbiev, who is now the undisputed unified light heavyweight champion of the world. The scorecards were 114, 114. And then 115, 113, and 116, 112. Luke, I'm not going to go too deep into this because I know you're going to do a real deep dive into this on your channel. The word robbery, though, has been thrown about a lot. We watched the fight live. We did it on your channel. And again, big up for that because you streamed for over 6 hours, which was an absolute marathon. But it's a brilliant show and you did brilliant on that as well. It wasn't a robbery though, man. It was an extremely close fight. I remember we were scoring it live.
Yeah.
And I think the most either of us had it was 7-5 each way.
Yeah.
It wasn't a robbery.
I think it all depends on how you view boxing, what you view as most valuable. Is it put in the pressure? Because you saw in the statistics, Beterbiev threw about 200 more punches. Looked busier. Judges like it if you look busy, even if you're not doing anything. And I think a 7-5 either way, or even the draw, like the draw was probably the best result. Big up, Jamie.
Big up, Jamie. See, even that Bivol 2 up, that would have been 7-5. I don't have an issue with that. I have no that like for me, whether you had it 7-5 Bivol, 7-5 Beterbiev, or a draw, either of those, any of those I'm good with. But the 8-4 is the one where I go, that's ridiculous. Like one of the judges had it 116 to 112, and even some of the people online, I'm like, how have you scored 8 rounds to Bivol? Like how have you only scored 4 to Beterbiev? Or either way, it's just for me that's a bit ludicrous. But I'm not going to go too deep into it. All I will say is, Riyadh season, Your Excellency, Bivol, Beterbiev, please, can we have the rematch?
Hey, he's already said rematch. He's already said rematch anyway.
It has to. That fight was such a good fight. Such a good fight. From start to finish, those two went out there and put on a show. And look, it's what you get when the best fight the best. You usually end up seeing a great fight. And Bivol and Beterbiev, for me, their stock both went up. So hopefully they fight again and they get paid even more money next time. And we get, hopefully, a more decisive winner the next time. But if we don't, it's another close fight. F it, let's do the trilogy, man. So I'm good. I'm good either way.
Hey, I feel for Eddie Hearn. He's just taken L's all year.
Yeah, and not just him. Is it who's the other one? Is it Ben Shalom? Ben Shalom.
They've just been taking L's.
And Joshua's trainer, what's his name? Ben Davis.
Yeah,
it's been a bit of a rough few months for those guys. It really has. But people, let's move back onto MMA. And UFC 310 has officially been announced. And I'm going to read out the card for you guys because it is a banger. And from start, well, we'll go from the prelims and then go all the way up. Even though it's not necessarily, well, the prelims haven't actually been announced, so we won't do the prelims. But so far, we have Anthony Lionheart Smith versus Dominic Reyes. 2 fighters you'd probably say over their peak, but could still put on a good fight if they're able to. Evloev versus Aljamain Sterling at featherweight, which I think will not necessarily be the most exciting fight, but might be one of the most, if not the most technical fight on the card. Vicente Luque going up against Stockton's own Nick Diaz, making his return to the octagon. This fight was meant to have been a few months ago, was pushed back, and now we have it at 310. Cyril Gahn versus Volkov, another fight that was pushed back, was meant to have happened earlier, but it was pushed back through, I think, injury to Cyril Gahn or asked for a delay.
He's too busy
that
filming.
fight will be happening. Say again, bro.
He's too busy filming that Netflix show that's come out.
Yeah. Then you've got Pantoja versus Kai Asakura getting a title shot in his very first UFC match, which is crazy. He's 21-4, fighting out of Rising. And then you have the main event, the welterweight champion of the world, Belal, remember the name, Muhammad, versus Shavkat Rakhmonov, who puts his O on the line. Can he go 19-0 as he captures UFC gold? I just want to touch on one of the fights on the card. And that's the Pantoja versus Kai Asakura fight. Now, it's kind of unprecedented, if I'm not mistaken, that this has happened. In fact, I don't think this has happened. I don't think anyone's
It's the 24th fighter to fight, to get a title shot on debut. But I think most of that number was, back in the day.
Yeah. I was going to say in a modern era of MMA or UFC, I've not seen it, which is crazy. One, it speaks of how well Pantoja's done in clearing out the division. But should a Kai Kara France be feeling very hard done by right now? Because his last fight against Steve Erceg, he got a knockout win. Looking at the rankings as well, I'll just quickly bring that up.
Yeah, I've got the rankings up here. So number one's Royval.
Yeah.
Two's Moreno, three's Albazi. Those who are fighting, so they're booked.
And then four is Kai Kara France.
Four. He must be injured. Like, he must.
There's got to be something, because you're right. Because Royval just fought on Saturday. Plus, he had the title fight really recently, so he can't get it. Moreno had the title fight, lost, and then lost against Royval. So that rules them two out. Albazi was injured and is now fighting Moreno, so he's ruled out. You're right. Unless he's got an injury, if I'm Kai Kara France, I am screaming my head off saying this is a joke, this is a robbery. Because he won his last fight. He's the highest ranked fighter who hasn't had an undisputed title shot. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he's fought Pantoja.
I'm gonna find that out now, because Pantoja's pretty much fought everyone. So I will just double check.
He has. I have a feeling he hasn't fought him though. So I've just got I've got Pantoja's record. I'll quickly go through it.
I think he may be like the only one like he's not fought.
So Pantoja, where are you? There we go. So his next fight is Kai Asakura, Steve Erceg win, Brandon Royval, Brandon Moreno, Alex Perez, Brandon Royval, Manel Cap. He lost to Askarov, which was his last loss.
No, he did beat Kai Kara France, Ultimate Fighter Season 24 quarterfinals 2016.
Oh, yes, I've seen that. But that was almost a decade ago.
Yeah. And he also beat Brandon Moreno in that series as well.
Yeah, he's beaten Brandon Moreno 3 times, I think. Or twice. One of the two. Maybe twice, actually. But either way, Kai Kara France, after what, 16? Since 2016, that's what, 8 years ago? They both improved as fighters since then. I'm actually shocked to see he's got a loss to Askarov on his record. Davison Figueiredo again. I can't again. I'm going to sound like I'm ranting again. I wish the UFC did a better job of promoting that division, because to think that we had Pantoja versus Figueiredo that most people wouldn't have known about, and all the other people they fought, it's ridiculous. But for me, it's got to be Kai Kara France, unless, as you said, he's carrying an injury of some sort. But if he's not, then he must be feeling really hard done by. Really hard done by, because I think it's ridiculous that he didn't get that. But UFC 310 looks brilliant. Can't wait for that card. Obviously, we'll chop it up as we get close to that event. Before that, we've got UFC 308 and 309 though, so we'll be speaking about those soon. The last fight on the weekend, UFC Fight Night, Royval versus Taira. I watched that fight, not expecting loads from it. It was a fight night. I'm going to tell everyone now, that for me is at least top 5 fight of the year candidate right now. the fight was absolutely sensational. Back and forth. It went one round Royval, then Taira. Another round Royval, then Taira. And then it went into the fifth with it being 2-2. Everyone had it the same. It was 2-2 on the final round. And then Royval managed to get the win. One of the judges did score it for Taira. However, I don't, again, split decision. I'm good with it. It was a really close fight. I think round one, many saw as a swinger. I saw it as a clear Royval round, personally. But as far as fights go, absolutely brilliant. So, as it pertains to that, I'm going to do a quick little matchmaker Monday. So, for both fighters, so just had the rankings up. I'll get those back. Because I want to see who both men can fight next. Because I'll be honest, Royval's kind of doing a Max Holloway at the moment and saying, look, unless I can fight for the belt, I'm just going to clear out the division. Royval's beaten Moreno in his last fight and now beaten Taira, who is ranked 2 and 5 respectively.
Yeah.
Albazi and Moreno fighting next. If I'm Brandon Royval, I'm not getting a title fight next. I would probably call out Kai Kara France.
Yeah.
Because Pantoja's going to fight. And look, if here's a predicament though for Royval, because if he's booked in a fight and then he goes and loses, then he's not going to get the title shot. Plus, as well, if Pantoja fights and loses, he's next in line to get a title shot, especially if Pantoja loses decisively and doesn't get a rematch. That being said, if I'm Royval, I'm going to try and stay active, because if you take out number 2 ranked, number 4 ranked, and number 5 ranked, then you're kind of making a case that there's no one else there. Even though I think the UFC are trying to make it so Albazi gets the next title shot if he beats Moreno.
Yeah,
if he beats Moreno, which is, when's that fight?
Soon. I think it's soon.
Well, it is soon, isn't it? Versus Albazi.
Just have a look.
That is the 3rd of November.
Let's have a look at Kai France's record. Lost to Albazi, split decision. Lost to Moreno twice.
He should have won that. He got robbed in that fight.
Yeah, he did. Lost to Royval as well by submission. Kai France. So maybe you want to run that back, depending, because you never know. Like, I would expect a rematch between Asakura and Pantoja if it's a close fight. If it's a one-sided fight, they'll probably still run the rematch, even though that they shouldn't. But it's a difficult one. But do you know what would be so funny? Just Brandon Moreno just beats Albazi and just goes, "Yep, that's one hype train done. I want my title shot, please."
I don't think he'll get a title shot off one win though, because he'd have been off the back of 2 losses. So I don't think you'll get it.
Yeah, plus Pantoja's beaten like 3 times across their career.
Yeah,
beaten him twice in the actual UFC and beat him in tough as well. So I feel like the division needs an Asakura win, because then it just opens up fresh matchups. If Pantoja wins, you're sort of looking around thinking, Pantoja might actually need to look about challenging at bantamweight for the belt.
You just took what I was going to say, because let's be real, Pantoja I think matches up quite well with Merab.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think he matches up better with Merab than he does with O'Malley.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he has a loss on his record to Figueiredo as well. So he could even think, I'm going to relinquish and then go up properly and just do 35. Because he's seen...
Or tell Figueiredo, come back down to 25.
Figueiredo won't go back down.
Yeah. He looks weight drained at 35.
That weight cut was really tough for him. And he looks comfy at bantamweight.
Yeah.
He looks really comfy. So, yeah, I'd go for Royval versus Kai Kara France. And for Taira, I would go him versus
Versik.
Yeah.
Or Versik on 2 back-to-back losses.
If you want to promote Manel Cap, you do him versus Taira, because Taira is very
shout.
hittable, and Manel Cap is a very good striker.
Mm.
But Taira's grappling is just beautiful to watch.
I'm just gutted that Taira didn't get the win, because you could have set up Asakura Taira,
all Japanese in Japan,
all Japanese.
in Tokyo.
Oh,
Could have been amazing. Could have
possibly.
been amazing.
We'll probably see that fight down the line.
Yeah, we definitely will. We definitely will, because I don't think Asakura is beating Pantoja. I just
Hey,
don't
Jamie
see
says
it.
Pantoja's getting packed in.
No,
Well, if we saw the
shout out to
Pantoja we saw
Jamie as
against
always.
Usyk, then he would get packed in. But
yeah, I think Pantoja batters him. I don't think he'll be a close fight.
Yeah,
at all. I think he's that good, Pantoja. And I just, from what I've seen of Asakura, his fights and stuff, he's very hittable and you can get to him. So
plus the
I don't see
grappling.
that happening. But yeah, let us know in the comments, guys, what you guys think about that. Shout out to Klopp sipping of Arsenal tears. No Edwards rematch again.
Doesn't
It's
deserve
the
it.
inconsistencies of UFC, because Volk's going to get a title shot again after being KO'd. Yeah, Edwards did get dominated in his fight, but he's not getting a title shot rematch. Whereas we've seen others get rematches.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like Edwards really put himself out there for the rematch, if I'm going to be honest. Like, he's gone very quiet since the fight. So I don't know if he needed to take some time away. I don't know if he's carrying an injury or not. Edwards is quite a private person, so difficult to say. I
will hear from him soon.
Yeah, I do think Edwards did have a case for a rematch or an immediate rematch, but again, Belal, I don't think would have agreed to it either. And I get it from Bilal's point, because Leon made him wait for such a long time. He's like, well, why should I just grant him a title shot straight away as well? So goes both ways. Shout out to Tyler for your super chat. Much appreciated, Tyler. Thank you so much. Big up yourself. Appreciate you, man. Right, let's move on to the war of words between said Belal Muhammad and Ilia Topuria. This is one beef I didn't see happening. Both very vocal guys.
I'm just gonna put up the screenshot, put in our chat. That was hilarious.
So Ilia Topuria said this, and Conor McGregor also weighed in, as he does. Ilia Topuria to Belal Muhammad says, no finishes, no knockouts, no knockdowns, no girlfriend, no kids. Belal has never finished any man or woman. Then Conor McGregor doubled down and went, I'd love to crush my left hook into Belal's temple and take down the Triple Crown. I'd do it easily and fast. I'd cape his skull heavy. The hurdles I face getting back to the octagon are just harrowing. I am so sad over my June 29th fight cancellation. To think this bum is now a UFC champion with 0 takedowns on his resume. So 0 knockdowns on his resume. Whoever is so bad. The UFC's most abysmal, 0 revenue generating fighter in modern history. Yikes.
Hey, that's a cooking. That's a hell of a cooking.
That is rough. Belal, I mean, Belal, if there's anything Belal's going to do, he's going to fight back. This is what he had to say regarding where are we? I can find it now. Got a lot of stuff up about Palestine. Oh, he's basically taken the mick out of Ilya and Conor, because they both have very similar tattoos, and Ilya's obviously tried to mirror himself off what Conor did. He basically just says, now you're just copying stuff word for word off memes regarding what Topuria said. He hasn't said anything back to Conor McGregor. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not Belal's biggest fan. There's no way Conor beats him at 170. Belal walks him down and takes him down for fun, and I think he submits Conor. He does not beat Belal Muhammad. If Leon Edwards at 6'2", who weighs over 200 pounds, walking around probably can't beat Belal or couldn't beat Belal, Conor's not doing it. And Leon has far better takedown defense and is far better on the ground than Conor McGregor has ever been.
So it's Conor's on. If anyone saw him at BKFC, that guy is on the drink.
He was buzzing.
He's on everything.
Yeah, he's an
known to man about what he's on party night. He was willing to risk it all. I don't know whether or not you saw the clip. His missus had to sort of like, hey, don't forget I'm me. No, but yeah, Conor's mental, man.
Conor will do what Conor does, innit?
But Ilya, the target is Max, my friend. He's beefing Islam. He's beating Belal. You need to get your job done.
So here's the thing. I think Ilya's quite smart in how he's approaching this, because if he loses to Max and he can turn around and say, I wasn't focused, this, that, and the other. If he beats Max off the bat of picking beef with the welterweight and the lightweight champion, he just turns around and says, I can do it all.
Hey, just say, hey, Volk, forget about your rematch. Islam, don't fight Sarukian. I'm coming to knock you out, buddy.
I'll be honest. If Topuria does beat Max, I think he does call for that fight against Islam.
That would make sense.
I'll be real with you, though. Islam does not lose to Topuria.
No. Oh, no.
Does not lose to Topuria.
No. Even though Topuria got a good grappling background, but the Dagestani grappling is different levels.
Makachev, from what I saw him do to Topuria, I was like, the guy's built different, man.
Yeah.
The guy's just built different.
When he beats him. Oh, Jamie.
Jamie, let's not fall out, bro. But I'll be real with you. I obviously will do a preview close to the time. I don't know if I massively disagree with you, Jay, unfortunately.
Not looking good.
By the way, boys, I was speaking to Calvin last night. I saw Calvin last night, and he's coming on the show for the Jones Stipe card. He's also very worried we're going to cook him, because me and my me and my nephew cooked him yesterday regarding Jones, and yeah, it weren't pretty. So what me, you, and Jamie might do too might be even worse. But he said he's willing to come on, and
he's always respectful, so the cooking might be turned down a little bit.
Yeah, you maybe with you, Jamie won't. Jamie's savage regardless. So interested to see what happens with that. But yeah, the war of words between Belal and Topuria. I mean, Bilal's been going at everyone, and people have been going back and forth with Belal. Topuria, just everyone can get. He's very much mimicking what Conor McGregor did when he first came into the game, which I get it. But the main thing with him is he backs up his talk and continues winning fights. And if he does that, then he can talk as much as he wants effectively. Just want to touch on the PFL card this Saturday. So we'll be doing the PFL card, doing a watch along, which for me is one of the biggest cards of the year. I'll just read out the fight card because it is a massive card. You have got Francis Ngannou returning to MMA for the first time since his last UFC bout, and he'll be taking on Ferreira. Again, if anyone's never seen Ferreira is a unit. 13-3. He's bigger than Francis in height and body. You got Chris Cyborg versus Larissa Pacheco. Pacheco, the last person to beat Kayla Harrison. You got Johnny Eblen versus Fabian Edwards in a rematch from their middleweight title bout. And then you also have AJ McKee versus Paul Hughes as well. A banger of a card, an absolute banger. So we'll be doing that as well. I'm just trying to find out the exact time when that starts as well. So please do tune in for that. Jamie is killing me. I'm not gonna lie. If Francis loses, this will be one of my worst years as an MMA fan in terms of some of my favorites losing fights.
Hey, I know Dana says he doesn't give a hoot about PFL. I guarantee you his eyes will be glued to the screen, because if Francis loses,
then he's claiming
my
Jones.
days. He is.
It will go crazy.
Cooking.
The whole internet will go crazy. But I think what people are forgetting is Ferreira is an absolute animal as well. Ferreira, there's a case we made. If Ferreira beats Ngannou, there's a case to say Ferreira is the best heavyweight in the world as well. Yeah. So remains to be seen. Shout out to man like Matt, the Matt One Show guys. Make sure you subscribe to Matt's channel as well. And yes, Matt, linked in the description to Luke's channel. That is Luke Tanner, and Jamie Phillips Football Chats. That's Jamie's channel. The links are in the description. And obviously, Man Like Matt is here as well. So make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. If you haven't subscribed to Coppish as well, people. But yes, that is MMA Monday and Matchmaker Monday off and done. Luke, have you got anything coming up that you can tell the people about, bro?
Yeah. So I'm going to do a bit of a review on Bivol Beterbiev. I'll probably just touch on the main event itself. So after this, I'm going to rewatch the fight with no commentary, because apparently the commentary was crap.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's what I heard online. The commentary was not good. So I will rewatch the main event with no commentary, and then I'll do a review on it, because I'm a lot more awake than what I was
Yeah.
when we were doing it the other night, because I was like, what? Oh, this looks good.
Yeah, at least you weren't falling asleep on stream. Who would do that?
Yeah, true. Yeah, one did that. No, but that'll be out later today as like an upload. It won't be a live, it'll be an upload.
Nice. So people be back probably tomorrow night for comeback catch up, then back on Wednesday, back on Friday, then back on Saturday as well. So yeah, full week. If you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe to Matt's channel, subscribe to Luke's channel, subscribe to Jamie's channel. Till see you again. Take it easy, everyone. Thanks for watching.